Hello, hello. Give it a couple seconds to see if anybody shows up. But okay, what we're going to be starting to talk about today on today's live is what I'm going to be breaking down and showing you in a series of next few videos. It's going back to the more you know videos, but it's going to be more like I'm naming now Geronimo, because once I show what I'm about to show and the extent I'm about to show it in, Geronimo, this castle made of glass, not blown up sand, is about to come crashing down. But we're going to be talking about the TikTok murder victim. This has been national-wide, nation known, but it needs to be, because they named the Delphi case the Snapchat murder victims. Why? Because they used the Snapchat, a form of social media, to start getting individuals looked at. We would not have the sketches if it wasn't for what Libby herself did using her own device. And with that being said, what Brandy Bradley just did, she is the TikTok murder victim that not only told word for word what was about to happen to her, she didn't get cut up, she got burnt. Down in Kempton, Indiana. I'm going to further show you where she named one of the murderers, along with other individuals. If you look back at a major issue, 2018, this where I'm putting all holds off. The gloves are off. I want you to look up 2018. Brandy's brother, Michael Bradley Jr. He was the only one inside the family that got busted in the 2018 raids, but there's others that were dealing inside of her own family, like Frankie, her own mother shows up in around these same individuals, a lot of the same dealers, back to the same drug ring. And the same thing when it goes, like I said, I am not holding anything back. I'm going back over to Joshua. I mean, not Joshua, but Jonathan Christie. Look around his friends, Ralphie Stoop Jr., a bunch of other ones. They all go back to the same drug ring. Just it's starting to look like two different factions. But then you got Jamie Lamberson, or however you say her last name. When you go to Jamie, another one that Brandy was feuding with and letting it be known on social media on TikTok. She was letting it be known, look, anything happens to me, John Christie did it. But then she was letting it be known on Facebook, on TikTok, it was pissing them off. She was airing out the dirty laundry for all to see, and she had a feeling something was going to happen to her. It's the same feeling. She's not the only victim of this drug ring that had that same feeling. Something was not right. I need to do something about it. Liberty German had that same feeling when she decided to take the pictures of what she did and the video, whatever is on her phone. She had that same exact feeling. Something is not right. What can I do? What avenue? What tools do I have at my disposal? What can I do about this? Had a cell phone. She chose Snapchat. Brandy chose TikTok. Brandy not only told you that she was going to be killed by John Christie, I guarantee you, the day she did that, and they look back and find out it'd be the day she died, is the day she put that out there, just like Libby. She spoke up. I guarantee you, she did what she did, asking, begging for help, because she was already, police have already been called. They've already had issues. He's still been walking when he's already put his hands on her and she's let it be known. And then she was supposed to go to a court hearing just to get a protective order out of somebody that's a domestic violence victim. She had her life taken when he could have already been jailed for the violence he was already portraying. And oh, we're gonna hold you off in here. We're gonna have you go in front of a judge and get a little piece of paper and a protective order. That that should suffice you. They failed her. She tried speaking up. She was not afraid. From what I've heard, she's not afraid of standing up and standing on feet. So going toe to toe with this guy, she's doing it. Sounds like she was getting her butt whooped, but yet she would stand up each and every single time, stand on her own 2 feet, and stand her ground. But then I'm going to bring up the whole fact it took her family, her own family, 30 days. If they would have done what any other sane family, anybody that would not be involved with this drug rings, that would put these drugs before your own flesh and blood, I feel within the first 2, 3, 4 days going missing, somebody knew. Somebody was asking questions. Somebody knew something was up. Something's not right. You tell me all that family she had in town, all those friends that are saying they cared, they gave you shits. Where were you? Why did it take you even 30 days to so much as file a missing persons report and let it be known when you were seeing what the hell she was saying right there on her own TikTok? She was saying with her own mouth. She wasn't joking. And it's just like what I heard Karina say that night. If they see me, I'm as good as dead. If they see me, I'm as good as dead. I heard that over and over again. Every time I go to close my eyes, go to sleep at night, it's quiet. I hear that resounding in my head. And I know the feeling because I stood there with Karina until she got picked up. And having the hair on the back of your spine, the back of your neck, every hair in your fiber of your being standing on end. You get that haunting feeling of somebody. You are the prey. There is a hunter, a predator nearby. In the shadows, in the dark, you cannot see them. Somebody's training proficient in warrior tasks and drills when I don't have night vision, no ability to actually see through the dark, and I'm feeling myself turn into prey. I've got a little knife that I gave to Karina. It was about a 2 inch little knife. The only thing I had on me at the time. She had that in her own hand. And that in my jacket back when she got in the truck and she left. But unarmed myself, I looked at her. I was like, anybody was to come to attack you, point out who they are. I've got a cane and I got a bicycle. For the love of God, I will fight off as much as I can to give you as much time as you to run as far and as fast as you can. Promise me. I'm trained. I can deal with these people as long as I can to buy you enough time to run as far and as fast as you can. Promise me. I was like, this is not the biggest knife ever, but it's enough where if somebody was to come to do something at you, I guarantee you would know where to hit and you know what to do with it. She's like, yeah. She's like, I'm from these streets. This ain't much, but it'll do. It's enough. Her own words. She was the one to fight for her own life that night. They came down to it. I wish to God, if I would have let her kept that knife, I was like, you know what? Better yet, hold on to it. You might need it. Never thought of it until now. But for the love of God, if she had that on her, could that have helped prevent what was to happen to her? I didn't have any clue what was to happen to her. When she got picked up, she felt like she was relieved and no worries. Like, okay, I'm going home. I'm gonna be fine. That's what I felt. That's what she thought. I thought we both felt. It's not what happened. So I've been so hell bent when it comes to this drug ring. They piss me off. And I want to bring something up. Like I said, 2018 drug ring. Michael Bradley Jr. Look it up. He was the second part, the 45 that was hit. That was her own brother. Then before Chad Hamblin, Hamblin, older gentleman, business owner, the renter of the lease Jonathan Christie had. If you go on Brandy Bradley's Facebook page, you'll pull up. She's even seen threads where she was screenshotting conversations with her and Jonathan Christie talking to Chad Hamlin. And she was even calling Chad Hamlin out the threads that she knew her rights. In order for her to get thrown out of there by either of them, she was a resident of that location, like it or not, lease or no lease. It took 30 days to get you out by eviction only. That's how Indiana works. It's how the law works. That's how they like it or not. That's how it works. And she knew it. I've been paying my way. I've been paying the bills here. She was standing her ground. I know my rights. I know the laws. She was correct. There is no self help evictions. It's illegal. But I really find it odd that he was saying he worked for a construction company, and what is Chad Hamlin do? He was already putting prices on people's heads when they stole tools from him, being a hothead. I've got $5,000 on information that leads to this guy, or get a hold of contact the police, putting price on people's head for stealing tools from his shop. But when it comes to Chad Hamlin, I'm going to bring up a very, very, very touchy subject. I want you guys all right now, if you're sitting in front of a screen, to put the name Jeffrey or Jeff Duke. The Duke family is one of the Kingpin family members of Kokomo. This is a friend of Chad Hamlin. Now, when you go on to look up Jeff Duke, just right off the bat, look up Colton Summers. If you look up City of Kokomo, who is Colton Summers? Who was his dad through KPD? So you got an individual that's friends with multiple big drug dealers. You got Jeff Duke that moved from Kokomo. Looks like he's over in Jay County. What was it, just 2022? Dealing in meth, doing the same thing he was doing in Howard County. It's the same Jeff Duke. Just another one moved out, and just like Delphi, you got Frankfurt. Tipton, these smaller towns, they go to these smaller towns. Tipton is where uh, Jonathan Christie lived as well. So when it comes to Tipton County, like Kempton, just a few miles down the road, same county, he knows his way out in the country in Tipton County. And Kempton from Kokomo, maybe 5 minute back road, if that. This is how close this is. He was going to areas like he is familiar with. That's another thing I was going to start looking is instead of Kokomo, I was going to, and I already looked up, like I seen he was from Tipton. So I was going to go start looking in the Tipton area, the county, the rural area of Tipton. I'm going to places he would be familiar with, back roads, stuff like that. I was going to start hitting that if this to continue. One of the first things I was going to hit is Rushaville, where he actually lived in Rushaville. So when it comes to Rushaville, you got the reservoir, places like that. But then you got, when it comes to Tipton, you got the town of Tipton. It's tiny. It's not a real big town. Then you got other areas around Tipton, like Kemp. It's Kempton. Kempton was another area right there in Tipton County, which is just right outside of Kokomo, right off of 31. That's the other area I was gonna, main two areas I was gonna start hitting. And then if I couldn't find his stomping grounds out in the country, stomping grounds, I was gonna start looking towards Jamie, and then Chad, and other names that she named. I was gonna start looking up and actually looking country wise. The where would they feel more comfortable if they did something to her? Would they do it in the city, or since they have some ties out in the country, in the county, and it's butting up to Kokomo, would they take somebody they just killed and do something with them in an area that they would feel comfortable hiding them in, doing something in, and not being found, or would they do it right in town where they want to make a scene? I was like, quick, fast, something wasn't expected, just supposedly happened, then they're going to do it as fast as they can. So it's going to be something they're going to feel comfortable going to in an area they felt comfortable to. But if you look up Jonathan Christie, you're going to see he lived in Tipton, Rushaville. So that's one of the two areas, like the Tipton area, uh, the surrounding area, Tipton, Kempton, uh, some of the small towns right there. And then you got Rushaville, same thing. There's some of the small areas around there. That's where I was going to look at. That's the areas I was already starting to focus in on. And lo and behold, he went back to where he felt comfortable. But he also had a reason to. And I'm starting to wonder if you look back on the business records of Chad Hamlin, the one that was leasing to John, his company, I was going through when it comes to the Division Road where she was found in a dumpster. There is one look like a farm, like for some equipment, and it looked like a farmhouse. But I didn't on it, whatever. This place is like so Google Maps right after the base, and that location. Okay, can you guys hear me better now? Like, okay, am I louder? Okay, so we're gonna do it without the headphones on. I had my headphones on a second ago. So I wish somebody told me that earlier. Okay, but we're gonna go back to, you guys want me to go back kind of what I was just going over? Kind of wait somebody. Kind of get input and then we'll kind of see where we go from here. Okay, what I was kind of going over is I'm going to go back and replay what I was just going over. The TikTok murder victim, Brandy Bradley, Kokomo, Indiana. What we're also going to be going over is why it took the family and friends, everybody that's always and all going out right now, what they're going back and they're trying to look at all these hate messages on the Kokomo, Howard County Bus newspaper. Then you've got the mugshot of Jonathan Christie. I want you guys, anybody that's sitting in front of a computer or a screen in front of you, go to Howard County Bus newspaper and find Jonathan Christie's, and then you got Jamie Lamberson, his other name, Brandy said. But find both of their mugshots. Read all those messages. Family, be it her nephews. Then look at what family it was sharing and what family it was not sharing that she was missing. Her own mom never once shared that she was missing. And I'm going to start answering some of your guys' question. Okay, what's the big deal about that? The big deal with that is I want you to look back 2018 Kokomo raid, federal raid at that, cartel. A lot of these individuals that I've already just named right now, you can easily go back, find their social media accounts, and this is where the TikTok murder victim, she named her killer Jonathan Christie. Anything was to happen to me, Jonathan Christie did it, and she was also naming the individuals she was fighting and feuding with, along with him, leading up to her death. Brandy Bradley was naming Jamie Lambertson, or I don't know how you say that last name, but she was feuding with Jamie, and Jamie and this Jonathan Christie, John Christie, just became a little thing. Kind of was, you get the idea. And they met through Brandy. But thanks to Brandy getting light to herself, her situation, what is she felt about to come, it's not the first time we've heard somebody having a feeling like this. Like when it came to Liberty German, they were already using Snapchat, and one thing she had right off in hand, Snapchat. That's how it become to be known as the Snapchat murder. And it's the same thing that's going on right now when it comes to the TikTok murder victim, Brandy Bradley. She brought light not only to the murderer, the one responsible for her death, but she's bringing light to other names that you would otherwise not see. Chad Lamberton, not Lamberton, but Chad Hamblin, Hamblin, and then others when it comes to like Jamie Lamberson. Like she said, it was one of her close friends that she brought over, and well, John and her started becoming a thing, and then she was getting told she needed to get out. And Starla, it's the thing, it's what you are not being told is what is the problem. And it takes somebody like me to pull up public records and start showing you a very big issue. I'm taking the most recent case, and then I'm showing you why it took family and all these friends that are raising hell right now. And I guarantee you will be doing everything they can to profit off of this. And it's not the first time. That girl needs to be put to rest. Yes, I do say that. Yes, nothing against that. But why did it take all these people that are making a big fuss, will be making a big fuss, GoFundMe's, everything like that, acting like they cared? Why did it take each and every single one of you? And I guarantee you, some of you are going to be listening. There are some family members of these victims I've seen depleted, busted, like Carrie Timmons, Liberty German's mom. That's somebody I guarantee that really cares and wants the full justice no matter whose name gets jailed. She wants justice for her daughter. There's other family members, I guarantee you, Brandy's. They're not remembering that person that was strung out on drugs. They're remembering the kid that they watched grow up. There's family members that don't want anything to do with this ring, or the family members, the black sheep of the family that are involved with this drug ring. And it scares some of these families and their family members into keeping silent. It doesn't help things. But when I guarantee you got family members afraid of family members for what they're involved in, that's sickening. And I guarantee it's going on right now. Right now, even Brandy's case, the latest case right now, but any of these family members, if you were to pick up the phone, you can't trust the locals. Get a hold of the federal FBI, the Abby and Libby tip line. What is going on in those two, the Snapchat murder victims case and the TikTok murder victim case, It's one and the same. It's multifaceted, and there's different factions within this big ass cartel drug ring that stems back to other missing killed cases. I'm taking the closest case that you can see right now in front of you on your own screens right now. You can look right here. What is in front of you? This is the most recent case, and I'm taking you piece by piece back up the ladder to where I started when I stopped and helped somebody. When I heard somebody say, if they see me, I'm as good as dead, I knew she was being serious. Then I'm going to take it on before even then, that I've looked back 2008 records. The DEA, the Drug Task Force agencies within multiple of these counties, these locations, they have known more. And I guarantee you they know more now, and they're refusing to act. Why? Because it would show incompetence, decisions, possible corruption, among other many issues that are prevalent. And it's making everybody in other cases asking, what the hell is going on in Indiana in this area? These may be small towns like Delphi, smaller cities like Kokomo, but a big, hidden, deep tentacled meth problem. Small town, big meth problem. And within this meth problem, you've got dealers like Blaine McClellan, Nicholas McClellan's own brother. I've heard Son's dealt in it before. You've got Nita Duff, another elected official, the assessor of Carroll County. Her son dealing drugs out of her own house. When you got other families that are scared for their lives, not elected officials, knowing what's going on in their own families, it's scaring the hell out of some family members that have nothing to do with this, and they're afraid of their own children getting involved and wrapped up in this, on what other family members are doing. You got other families out here scared to death. They're not like you, Nicholas. They're not like you, Nita. They're not elected officials with your Boys of Blue buddies and the helping and the backing and the power that you have. They don't have ones like Martha Lake, the Senator, Jim Buck. They don't have retired police department family members they can go running off to within many of these families that these drug dealers and ones in this cartel ring have. That's why so many of these people and these individuals are so willing and so apt to do the acts they are doing. And what I'm now noticing, it's almost like two factions within this major cartel drug ring that have family that are retired, police department. Then you've got Chad Hamlin. He's got city of Kokomo employees like Colton Summers. His dad is Kevin Summers, that have deep pockets and deep ties like Kevin does with the former mayor. And if you hear some of the things on how Colton got his job, via what Kevin knew on the city of Kokomo, the former mayor, that's where Colton got his job. But why do we have major dealers, major individuals with city officials, elected officials, and the same drug ring that goes into multi cases? Look at Galen Rose's lawsuit. There's a murder suspect that killed for $20. Jennifer Dean slash Barnes. Look up her drug history. She was a murderer that gave the weapon, let them come back, change, help them get rid of the clothes and everything for $20. She should sound familiar because right there is an individual that wants to kill multiple children, Anthony Guarino. You had Jennifer out, I believe it was 2017, 2018, doing a video right there at Delphi on 2 children that you say you want justice for, but yet you want to turn around and kill multiple other children. You had a murder suspect that's now sitting behind bars for murder that acted on her impulses. Did you act on yours before, Anthony? Again, you go back into the same drug ring. And I want everybody to use your mind, use your head. Carter saying the individuals that are involved with Delphi could be sitting in this room today. If Carter was to come in and give the TikTok murder victim a press conference, he'd be saying the same thing right now. What are you saying about Delphi? Right there about hers. The individuals or individuals involved could be sitting in this room today, could be listening to this today, could be interacting with you guys today on Facebook groups, in these comments even. There's individuals that go back to multiple avenues of this drug ring, back to this cartel drug ring. There's some dealers that their brothers are prosecutors of their local county. And you got to think, dealers that are doing this and have family like that, are they thinking, oh, I'm going to get in trouble? Or, oh, it's like a kid. I've seen this before. Getting drunk, pulled over. Oh, my daddy's the sheriff. I don't care if you're the sheriff's son or not. You're going to jail for DUI. Drinking and driving. They think, oh, just because my daddy or my brother's the prosecutor, my daddy's the sheriff, that they can do what they want and no applications. But when it comes to the cartel that can actually buy their way, buy these hands, buy these pockets, it's scary as hell when you got Blaine McClelland, Nicholas McClelland's brother, dealing for this drug ring, 2014 raids. This is not slander. This is all I'm doing is giving the public what is already out there, public information that they themselves can go back and look, and then force you and the feds to do your job. I feel very strongly right now as I speak, there is very strong possibility that there's a RICO, a racketeering organization within some of these elected officials, these counties like Howard, Carroll. There is an operation of this drug ring. And I guarantee if we don't push right now, even on Brandy's case, there's going to be things that's going to be slid under the rug, hidden, not looked into. We demand that this drug ring and the ties and connections that go back to other missing and killed cases, Delphi, Flora, Karina McClurkin, Jonathan Christie's ex-wife, Amber Christie, other cases that's happened around the Bradleys, carjack, falling on an individual, Barbara, you know what I'm talking about. Like I said, it's not hard. A lot of this is public information on finding out where deaths happen, and it goes back to certain individuals back in this drug ring, and oh, nothing gets done about it. Other questionable deaths within families, even Brandy's, along the way. A lot of this information is public information. It's real easy to find, and once you find it, and once you start piecing things together, and it goes back to this drug ring, multi facets. Did Jonathan act before when it come to Amber, his ex-wife? Well, no, I wouldn't say ex-wife, aka widowed wife that died, I believe, last year. It was questionable at the time. Was it your ties and connections that allowed a little bit of a, oh, let's kind of push this on the rug? It was no foul play suspected to keep this ring from getting looked at. There's already enough issues going on. It's kind of weird that the same detective that after a 2018 video I dropped that's still on my live feed right now, I dropped a live video that was inside KPD, and there's over 24 officers that got early retirement, retired out and ran. Same thing when it comes to what I was hearing from Karina's own mom. There was a firefighter that paid to rape and beat Karina that night. There was firefighters doing the same thing in Kokomo Fire Department. Early retirement, running, jumping leave en masse. It wasn't until that 2018 video, the same video, before Murder Sheets dropped anything about Keegan Kline, Miami County, Indiana State Police already knew about Keegan Kline. They pulled him in 2017. I was in 2018 with Charles Chuck Myers out of Indiana State Police detective. And if you look up what he is in charge of, the child online sex crimes. So like the Anthony Shots account and another victim we now know of, Liberty German, of Anthony Shots. We now know that one of the 40 cases that they were pushing under the rug and allowing to sit cold on their desk, laughing, making jokes about it, giving excuses. They don't get paid enough, not enough manpower. When asked if they'd get the feds involved, no. Makes you wonder why they keep refusing to get the federal and government involved. The feds get involved. They look at everything. What would be allowing this to be this bad? What caused it to be this bad? They try to keep it at the state and local level. There's at least 3, if not 4 or more, that are friends with a prosecutor up there in Allen County, where Judge Gold is from, that go back to this drug ring names, and others that go back in and around this drug ring. That is shown directly back to Delphi and a few others. But a lot of people didn't know that, didn't know where to look, didn't know the names to look for. But yeah, there's prosecutors and individuals that deal with Gall on a daily, know all about the struggling individuals they're interacting with. Happy birthday, and constantly having an interaction with some of these individuals and names that are showing up back in around this drug ring. I know right now 3 that I can go right to somebody that works for the prosecutors of Allen County, where Judge Gall is from. They deal with them on a daily. I can show you 3 individuals right now. And that's one thing I'm going to start doing on some of these smaller videos I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be breaking down not only this dealer, this drug ring, this drug grade, but I'm going to be breaking down every little person like Blaine McClellan, Blaine Nelson, Gable Ellis, Kyle Stacy, Frank Bradley, Michael Bradley, Barbara Bradley. I'm going to be showing their records. So like I said, this is nothing that's going to be slander. This is all public information. These are the drug possession. This is the drug dealing. the charges you have that are out public information. This is who these family members are. This is who these family members are. Again, all public information. But if you would know how to break this drug ring down from the cartel drug ring, if you know some of the kingpin family members, Cavazos, you got Chavez, Gonzalez, Duke, the list goes on. It's taken me years to get this much information, this many names, to break all this down. And it's going to take me ages to try to break this down into small enough fragments in zones where it could actually get to where many of you can break this down yourselves. And it's not going to be such a hassle. I've got so much information in my head right now and things I've actually documented. I guarantee you right now on my phone and devices alone, I've got multiple SD cards that have been maxed out 15,000, 16,000 screenshots, uh, pictures, videos, things saved. I've got multiple SD cards that are maxed out, and it's like 160 megabyte, or not megs, but gigs of like space that have been held. And it's things that I can go back through, and I know which one I can pull back up. And it's what I call my Geronimo files, because Geronimo, once I hit this castle made of glass that I call that's not blown of sand. Anybody that knows anything about meth, it's called a glass, and it's not made out of sand. Once this castle, not blown of sand, gets hit, it's going to be crumbling down. But I'm going to be showing you guys and having a national outcry and demand that a RICO investigation gets done on the areas of operation of this drug ring. Then you're going to be seeing why many, and I mean many of you, to this day keep saying, and Starlet, my main, there's so many things that could be going on right now. And I know I'm not as big as these other YouTubers, but a lot of these YouTubers, look what you see on my page. And they're taking, and they're like, oh my God, how did you figure this out? That Nicholas McClellan has a video of pictures with Brad Holder and his son entering Freemasonry. They're all Freemasons. Oh my God, how did you figure that out? Go on my community page before it was even talked about. Go back in some of the videos I've done before it was known about. See where the real information is coming from. I am not like these YouTubers. All these YouTubers, especially these YouTubers that are from out of the United States, they regurgitate information over and over and over and over again. They're getting thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars from you guys, and thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers because they're regurgitating information. I am not like not one of these YouTubers. I am not a YouTuber. Only reason I'm using this is exactly like Liberty German did. Just like Brandy did. I've got death threats. There was a hit taken out on a family member of mine in Kokomo. I've got a price on my head. If I keep talking, I'll be the next one missing, killed. I am not one of you YouTubers. So Anthony Greeno call me a bitch, a snitch, another fucking tryhard. You want to be child killing motherfucker, you can kiss my ass. I was dragged into this shit, and the only reason I'm using this platform right now is I was dragged into this hell, and in order to survive this hell. I must scream from the inside of this hell out and try to get and grasp any individual that will listen to me, that will share what I'm saying, that will get behind me. Because instead of me being hunted, I'm doing what I do best, what I am trained to do. I will not run. These colors do not run. The flag that flies on me each and every time you will see me out, I will have my flag. It is on me at all times. I got my cross. I got my St. Michael's medal. I got what I need. I got the tools and the instruments, the vest, the weaponry. If I would need it, the medical kit. I got everything I need to go into battle. Each time I go film, each time location I go to do anything, get you guys alive at, I am going into battle. I am hunting the evil that is hunting the people that I swore an oath to protect. That's what became and how I became a FBI informant with the Joint Terrorism Task Force, to make sure that the people that I swore an oath to protect, if I was seeing something, I was saying something, and I was doing something about it, where many of you could sleep at night. I wasn't in the army anymore. So I was seeing something, I was able to do something, and I was able to do something about it. I've got multiple people, federal charges right now, sitting multiple years in federal penitentiary. And it's foreign and domestic threats. Look up the Indiana ISIS couple. The fake judge, Bruce Dockett, making threats to another judge. I made it where a judge could go to sleep at night, among others. I've got a proven track record, and it's a proven track record of making sure I swore an oath when I was going in the army, 2005, 2006. When I went into the army, I swore an oath to uphold and defend my people and my nation. No longer out. Well, I found an avenue where I was seeing something, I was saying something, and I was saving lives, and I'm still trying to do the same thing today. This agent, Michael Curtis, knew and knows a hell of a lot more right now when it comes to multiple cases, and what they're not doing when they were an agent makes me sick. So yeah, this whole time I've been using this and Facebook as an avenue to listen. Instead of hearing it from regurgitated information, how about hearing information from the inside of this hell screaming out like Brandy did, like Libby did? You're hearing from inside of this hell from the very beginning. When I made Fight for Justice, when I made uh, Hunting Evil, unlike Greeno, trying to make thousands and thousands of dollars and getting all this thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment all donated to you for what? Where you can go make more meth money? Once a meth head, always a meth head, Greeno. You're gonna, I guarantee you. Oh, since you're doing back to weed, I guarantee you went back and dabbled in some meth with the money that's coming in. And right now, you're wanting in your own mind to kill multiple children. You're on a recorded video. You've got calls. You've got cell phone communications while you were in jail, making some of these threats. And you're caught on audio admitting that, yes, I did say I want to kill multiple children, Greeno. Your own words. You are no better than the ones that have acted on adults or children alike. And you know a lot more, and you're using what you know from your drug buddies, your dealers, Your friends, when Delphi happen, you're seeing another con that's going in the back of your head. Oh, instead of going after trying to arrest some of these people, I can make more money going on to YouTube. I know a lot more information, but if I can keep the information from going to them, I can get paid by them and then some drugs from them. But then, oh, I can get donations, I get free gear. I can keep this con going for a while. Because even to this day, multiple of your friends that go back and know a hell of a lot more information like you do, Anthony. Instead of doing the right thing, you're making and you're profiting off it what many of these people have done before and are still doing to this day. So yes, Anthony, I'm not a YouTuber like you off to make every single penny, every single dollar that I can make off of any of these people. Thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers, making hundreds of dollars off being a YouTube, a content creator, giving entertainment. I'm not here for entertainment. I'm for justice. I'm here to save my own life, protect my own life and the people around me, using the only thing I have right now to gain a voice, to get people to listen and to look in the right direction. I'm not a victim by God yet, but I'm fighting for the ones that no longer have a voice, that had the threat that I have on my back right now. If I keep talking, I'll be the next one missing killed. I've already got threats. And then Greeno, you made sure to, in writ, bring those threats back up, and then some. All you have to do is make a little phone call to make sure that happens. You've already put a threat on my life as well, Anthony Greeno. Renee. Renee. I still think some Bubba's gonna love Renee. Oh, meet my new girlfriend, Renee. You'll make a Bubba's good girlfriend. But like I said, I've never made this to become another YouTube a content creator. Look at me, especially some of these from outside of the United States that are hearing hours and hours later what many people already know, but they're gonna break down and oh, I got a way where a lot of these people they don't like looking up their things themselves. So I'm gonna break this down and talk about this and regurgitate this information that I can't get myself like firsthand or know or have people that can trust me that kind of come directly to me with the information. I'm within this hell. I've got people from some of these families I've talked to. Nobody ever knows I've talked to. I don't make it where it's nothing about content, like all about content. What is it? What's my best interest? What can I get out of this? Can I document and record this and oh uh push this in a way that would best fit me? I'm making sure lives are protected, people are protected. I'm doing a better damn job at times than some of these cops. Within 48 hours, I put 48 hours of making a threat to this drug ring of doing what I'm about to do in full. I'm sick and tired. I've made the threat for the last time. Every name, every connection, I don't be it corrupt or not. You got ties to back these dealers. I've known about it. I've documented it. It's all coming out. Elected official, high or low. Look at Jim Buck, some of his friends list, and then go down each and every single one of them. See how many are drug dealers. Back to this Kokomo ring. Back to this the cartel drug ties. You'll be surprised in some of these individuals if you start really looking on who they're associating themselves with. Social media is a damn powerful thing. Where many would look the other direction. Oh, there's nothing to see there. Why do you want me to look that direction? Well, because if by God, if you do, there's associations. They're associating, they're conversing back and forth. And a lot of these dealers and suppliers for this drug ring and their clientele, instead of constantly trying to change numbers and get another burner, they can easily, and hell, some can go real cheap and just get like a burner phone and have it where they can have a Facebook on their what's a name, like, and be connected to the bigger dealers saying, hey, like Code Talk, I need this, and this amount. Meet you at this location. And they're using social media. I'm seeing it right now. Back to so many of these missing guild cases. There's family members like Derek, Blaine McClellan, Joshua Lang, Del Wood. Del goes back in friends with like Kyle Stacy. If you look at Kyle Stacy's February 11th post and on, the same rune that was at Delphi. The motives, it's sitting right there from day one. You've got drug ring individuals, one after another, going out of Flora, the house where the Flora girls were killed in. Colton Creasy's own history. They prey on individuals' moms that are having hard times, like Galen would be if she was never a part of this or anything like that before. They prey on individuals that are having a hard time. And, oh, hey, let us kind of come by and blah, blah, blah. And, oh, here's some money. Here's some money. This will help you. This will help you. They're getting more money than they ever knew what to do with just by using, oh, yeah, this person can set up my house and kind of, or have drug traffic kind of come through. I don't care. It's easy money. They're targeting individuals, and this is how it starts, and this is how they get them brought in. Oh, you thought that was a lot of money? Well, here, try this, do this. It can easily happen. And this is how it starts. But look at the Galen lawsuit. Every single one of them, including a murderer for $20, set on that witness list. And every single name of those, even Colton, goes back in and around this drug ring. Then you got ones like Dustin Prater, the ammonia theft with Derek German. He's friends with one like Tyler Joe French. If you look at the second sketch, well, I should say the first sketch, the younger one, it's kind of odd where these sketches go back to dealers and suppliers and some bigger ups of this drug ring. And this same drug ring has some tentacles that go back into elected officials, families, held their own houses. And if you got other members afraid of families are afraid of their own lives because their own families, what they're doing, which is out there, that is going on. If you got family members that don't want anything to do with this or scared to God of some of their own family members out here, you can't tell me, Nita. You cannot tell me, Nicholas. You did not know about your own family's actions and what they were doing and what they're involved in. Anna Williams, I've had conversations with you. You already knew yourselves, the individuals within even your own family. I've got original where you admitted to some things yourself, how you know some of these individuals. Derek, you knew about his dealing. You knew about Delwood's dealing. You know about Harley Babcock's dealing, Devlin Plunkett, and many of these names on and on and on. Hell, you were close family friends with Ashley Garth. You just got done doing work for Ashley Garth's grandmother. Ashley Garth's dad worked at the same 2008, worked at the same ammonia plant. The ammonia, Derek Sherman and Dustin Prater stole it from. About 2.5, 3 months later, you got Gabriel Ellis getting arrested for manufacturing meth. Liggett responding. Like I've said from the very get-go, a lot of these individuals, these officers, these agencies know a lot more that's going on when it comes to this drug ring. These elected officials like Nicholas McClellan, among many others, Colton Summers. You know who these drug dealers are, this drug ring, all too well. And this is going to be coming out to light. And like I said, this whole thing has been the More You Know series. And why it's been the More You Know is I've been trying the best I can from within this hell, from seeing it, getting dragged into this, and trying to stay afloat, stay alive. This whole time, it may not have been the best. And I'm not the best YouTuber. I'm not like the rest of you. I can't make these all beautiful videos and, oh, look at me. And you don't see me constantly saying and stopping my thing. And I'm glad for it. Oh, thank you for the $5 donation. The $10 chat. Oh, thank you for the membership. I'm glad I don't have to stop and everything I'm needing and wanting to say. I can make shorter videos, get the point across. If people would listen and kind of hear me through, I'm not like any of you. I'm not regurgitating information. I'm not puking this information out for everybody to hear. You're hearing a lot of this as I'm seeing it, as I'm finding it, and I'm yelling from the inside, look here, and this is why. Look up Brandy just did. Look here, and this is why. Because when you start doing it, what happens? Actions happen. There's a RICO investigation that needs to be done. You can't tell me Nicholas McClellan did not know his own brother was dealing, among others. You can't tell me Mike and Becky Patty didn't realize Del Wood, Joshua Lang, Derek German, all, among others, were dealing. If Anna knew, I guarantee you Carrie knew. A lot of these families, and they're even afraid of speaking up at times because of this drug ring and the connections and the tentacles and how high this goes up. They're afraid of even speaking up. The drugs, the money, and this cartel drug ring is involved with multiple cases. So help me God. Open your eyes. Once it does, Geronimo.